Hey, what's going on, everybody? So we
Yeah.
are here for another episode of Too Much Commentary. I'm X. There's my boy Mike,
Yes.
and yeah, let's talk about what's been going on this week. So we got pro-Palestinian protesters
Yes.
acting up over the Capitol. Obama finally endorses Kamala. JD
Yes.
Vance is going around calling women childless cat ladies.
Yes.
And we got to tell you what happened at the opening ceremony at the Olympics last night. It was pretty controversial.
Mm.
So, what topic do you want to jump in first, man?
Yeah. So let's talk about this flag burning protest that happened over the past week. So in Washington, as everyone know, there was a lot of protests going on. Some of the flags were being burnt. Like the whole reason I bring it up is that I feel like it's okay to draw attention to like the war that's taking place in Israel, but
Yeah.
to me, this is almost like equivalent to clickbaiting and YouTube when you're just trying to find any way to grab people's attention, even if it's offensive and so forth. Because a lot of people just feel like there was better ways that you could have protested the war or call people's attention without having to necessarily go to the extreme of burning a flag. This is what has drawn up a lot of people on the right sometimes saying, if you're not happy in this country, maybe you need to go somewhere else. Saying like, why are you here? Why are you burning flags and so forth? And just like you're showing out in the picture, I don't know. What do you think about this? Do you think this is the proper way, I guess,
To get your point across? Yeah. Man, I would say no. So again, I think catch me if I'm wrong, but the First Amendment is free speech. So
That's
you are allowed to protest non-violently. Now, of course, I guess graffiti and bring the American flag technically is non-violent, but again, guys, we definitely can't be doing this. Like, these are American monuments. We can't destroy history.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with you. Just because you're mad.
I agree. And to some degree, it kind of defeats the overall purpose, because then people start being more focused on destruction of property and stuff like that, instead of the overall goal, which is to have some type of discussion or see if like, see what we can do to kind of resolve this like whole issue. So it just kind of, I don't know, just lose a lot of credibility and a lot of people that would have supported you if you wouldn't have gone through such like extremes. That's like the only issue,
No, I was just gonna mention. So I know there's a horrible war going on. Overseas with Israel and Hamas, and again, people are being killed on both sides.
Yeah.
But doing kind of violent, destructive stuff like this is not helping the message. Now, the reason why they did protest was because the Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, did come to Congress to do a speech. So this was their way in protesting that they didn't agree. And I don't know if you heard, a lot of Democrats actually sat out of this, including Kamala. Kamala did not.
Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yeah,
that's pretty interesting to know.
Did you get a chance to hear a speech?
No, I didn't necessarily hear a speech, but I know that all this happened during while everyone was talking about Kamala Harris and her being endorsed and so forth. Just very interesting to learn that all this on the back end, while everyone was distracted with that, we had all this other, important like big news, going on. So,
well, he had some interesting points in his speech. So he was telling he was telling everybody that a lot of these protesters don't even really know what they're protesting for.
Gotcha.
So he said that I guess a lot of protesters are saying things like, from the river to the sea, we want all this war to stop. He was like, but you guys don't know what river and what sea that you're talking about. And then also he mentioned that I guess some members of the LGBTQ community are doing Gays for Gaza, but he says this doesn't even make sense. It's like saying chickens for KFC.
No, you're right.
When you're in these countries, they because of your beliefs or your just who you are, you can be prosecuted.
No, I got you. No,
so I think it was interesting that he did put this in perspective, and if you are protesting, make sure you kind of know what you're protesting about, make sure that I just thought it was really interesting.
No, I agree. I just think just like you said, I agree with you. Like everyone should know, like because sometimes, like you said, people just kind of not really doing their research and so forth. But only thing that this does, though, it might actually infuriate a little bit more people, because then people might feel like, because there are people who are educated and doing it, they might feel like, well, he's kind of like insulting their intelligence, kind of to some degree. So you might have some people a little upset with that as well. They feel like, well, like they might feel like he's just distracted from the whole overall issue of why people are protesting. They just kind of trying to, like, distract everybody from, like the overall war in general. Because a lot of people are trying to say ceasefire, but he's trying to act like, he's still defending his position for the most part. He's not hearing their talking points and so forth.
Right. And that I do agree. That's exactly what he was doing. He was trying to explain why he is continuing this war. Now, one thing that I thought was interesting, actually, I appreciated, was so Kamala actually came out the very next day with the statement.
Yes.
So she mentioned let me see some of the highlights. She did say that these acts that were saw in DC were despicable by unpatriotic protesters. She condemns any individuals. The pro-Hamas graffiti and rhetoric is abhorrent, and we must not tolerate it. She condemns the burning of the American flag. So again, I was very excited to see her come out, because pretty much, she will be the next Democratic nominee. So
exactly.
Past week, again, I haven't seen Kamala talk this much ever.
No, I agree.
So it's I do commend her for coming in like pretty much each week and speaking on the latest topics and her stance on it. So now we can kind of understand what her view is versus what Biden's view.
No, I definitely agree. I agree with you. I think more than likely she's going to be the nominee. And I feel like she's trying to hurry and step up into the place that she knows she has to kind of carry the baton moving forward.
Yeah,
I think it was kind of like a smart move on her end. So we'll see how this kind of plays out.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention she can also now start to talk about her foreign policy experience. What has she done that's been presidential? Because again, up until now, there's not too much things that I think she can kind of put on her resume.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, well, one thing that I don't know if you noticed that her campaign's doing over the past few days is they're now saying that she was never in charge of the border. I'm not the border czar. I'm not the border czar. Again, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can find some quotes back from a few years ago where you said that you were in charge of the border. And
I think people were saying that she was going to do the whole play of all the bad stuff that happened. She was just going to blame pretty much on Biden. Like that's his. Like I'm just the vice president. There was nothing I can do. He was doing that. I was never really in charge of the border. That was really Biden. Kind of like the cover up for all the bad policies and so forth.
Okay. Well, then what did she do then? Right.
No, you're right. Then what were you doing there? Yeah. What were you in charge of?
Yeah. So she is in charge of the border. I just want to let everybody know she is in charge of the border. Okay.
Yeah.
And since the border, again, as we know, it's just millions of illegal immigrants are coming over every year.
It's a mess. Yeah.
It's a hot mess, man. And she is in charge of it. And for whatever reason, she didn't do what she needed to do to fix that. I mean, how many times did she even go visit the border?
No, you're great. And be honest with you, if you notice, every time people had complaints about the border or the migrants, you notice no one mentioned Kamala. They just always said this is Biden's fault. Biden do that. But like you said, wasn't she in charge of the border? So should you be blaming that person? But
right.
Notice, so that means she was MIA the whole time. She was in charge of it, but it just she didn't know how to handle it. Yeah, she didn't know what to do.
Yeah. So this is gonna come back to bite her. I think later as we get closer to the election or the debates, they are gonna ask her.
Yeah.
Trump will remind her.
Yes.
And I hope she has her answers out. But again, so far with the whole
but she's like you said, I agree. Like it was a good move for her putting out a statement, and she did step up. That's like a really, really good. It looks really good on her end. So we'll see what happens.
I was gonna say, so next up, let's see, we got JD Vance. So let
Oh
me
yeah, what's going on with
pull that up. So what's going on with JD, y'all? So
yeah.
so JD Vance, so real quick, they are starting to pull up a lot of old clips that JD Vance said back in the day. Okay. And they do this with everybody, you know. You can even look on Kamala's side. There's some stuff that they're pulling up out of her past that she's gonna have to answer for. But I guess he went on Tucker Carlson a few years ago, and he said that Vice President Kamala Harris was a childless cat lady. And women need to have children to have stake in the country's future. He also mentioned that you have Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC. The entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And just to let you guys know, Buttigieg does have 2 kids, so he was wrong on that part. And then he says, how does that make any sense when we've turned our country over to people who don't have a direct stake in it?
Wow.
Now, Jennifer Aniston actually saw this, and then she chimed in. So she posted on Instagram that she truly can't believe that this is coming from a potential VP of the United States. She said some other stuff that you guys can see here, but
yeah. Like I did hear that over the past weekend. People just said a lot of people were saying that at one point they thought that JD Vance was going to come in and really help the Trump campaign, appeal to like a younger audience, be a breath of fresh air. But it's been turning out that they said a lot of times he's been putting his foot in his mouth, saying a lot of stuff that's been putting people off. Just like you said, this thing in particular is really going to turn off a lot of women that would have really wanted to vote Republican, but some of them are going to say, I can't vote with somebody who's like talking like this, whatever.
Yeah. So well, interesting you said that, man, because JD Vance, man, I just lost my train of thought. But no, I'm just gonna say, a lot of the stuff that he's saying, he actually said a few years ago. So
so he's been saying this.
Yeah, it's not like they're recent comments. So I actually blame the Trump's campaign for not doing their due diligence and research. You're supposed to be looking at YouTube videos, going on Google, going on AI, looking up what are all scandalous comments this particular person had. So then you kind of know what the media is going to be pulling out, because I'm sure he said some more crazy stuff that's going to be coming out over the next few weeks. So
I definitely agree with you. Like they should have did a little bit. Like I agree, because like you said, Trump already has enough to deal with. People trying to pull up stuff from his past, about his wife, and every time the Democrats talk about Trump, they try to say, "Oh, the felon." So it's like you already got a lot of stuff going on with you. So like, why would you want some additional?
Your VP is supposed to help you.
Exactly.
So I actually saw some polls that said that Vance is actually bringing Trump's approval, or I guess his overall approval or rating down.
I saw that too.
Which is bad. Like again, your VP is supposed to help you, supposed to expand your network. But again, he picked another, white male. Trump, you're already a white male. I'm confused how JD was supposed to expand his audience.
Like I definitely agree with you. Like some people were saying that maybe he did this because he was trying to like appeal to his base, but like what some people on another news outlets was saying was that you already have that base, so you don't have to really cater to them. You should be catering to like the swing voters, people who don't have their mind made up. And this is not really going to help you with women because, as people already said, we already know that they were going to attack Kamala for being a woman. They already have attacking her because of borderline her race, calling her a DI candidate and all that kind of stuff. They're just saying you put it away. Before Biden stepped down, it pretty much was like a landslide that Trump was going to win. Now JD Vance and everybody else, you're slowly taking away votes with your rhetoric. So it's like you got to kind of, like you said, maybe they should do a little bit more research. So for whatever reason,
I saw he did try to clean it up. I don't have the direct quote. I guess he says he wasn't talking about women like that. Again, I have to go find the exact quote, but
exactly.
Trying to clean it up, but man, you
already kind of you already called that
you probably didn't want to respond was Jennifer Aniston. So Jennifer Aniston is I saw this on Twitter, the white woman's over 40 Taylor Swift. They love Jennifer Aniston. So if she's mad, you got every white woman over 40 mad. So, you know, this is not a good look. This is not gonna help Trump in the elections.
Yeah. And just so everyone knows, Kamala, she doesn't necessarily have children, but she has some stepchildren. So technically she is a mother.
She is a mom. She does have stake in this country's future with her stepchildren. So again, this was not a good comment. I hope this was the last bad sexist comment that is in Vance's path, but I have a feeling that there's going to be more, man.
No, I definitely agree with you. If you know how the Trump campaign usually runs, when they get attacks such as Sleepy Joe, Crooked Hillary, they just keep coming. So it's probably not going to be the last, that we hear about this. But like I said, we'll see how things turn out. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe it somehow works. I don't think we're wrong, but we'll see how this works out. Towards as we get closer, as the polls change, we get closer to the election. We'll see how all this rhetoric is kind of affecting them. So
I would say one good thing that JD Vance is good at is debating. So I saw him debate his Senate, I guess, competition a few years ago, and he did an amazing job. Whoever Kamala picks, I think that would be a interesting matchup when they do the debate. And again, I'm really curious to see this big debate with Kamala and Trump coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I'm interested to see how it works out as well.
I was going to say, well, another interesting topic was actually the Olympics. So the Olympics just kicked off yesterday with their opening ceremony in Paris. So in the opening ceremony, they always do like a huge, big spectacle. So I know Lady Gaga, Celine Dion sang, but one of the portions of the ceremony included, let me pull it up, drag queens parodying the famous Last Supper, which is in the Bible with Jesus painting, sparking outrage from conservatives and Christians who saw it as disrespectful. Many prominent figures, including Elon Musk, condemned the display as an attack on Western civilization.
I definitely agree with you. There's been a lot of talk in the United States about Christianity being on the decline in the United States. There's a lot of non-Christian, communities growing in the United States, and there's been a lot of backlash and so forth. There even was a time in which somebody had purposefully put like anyway, in Satanism, there's like I forgot the name of, but anyway, there's a statue that represents Satanism. Someone posted it out in the middle of, I think it was on the street or something like that. And I believe one of the political officials went and pretty much chopped down the statue, whatever. And it was said that they put that up just to kind of troll Christians and so forth. So what you have is, and not just in the United States, as we see in this photo, even across the globe now, there's like a lot of attacks. So people feel like there's a lot of attacks on Christianity and so forth. So it's just like really interesting to see all this unfold. And if anything else, people feel like if you want to protest Christianity, why do it on such like a huge, public stage? Why not keep that private to yourselves or whatever? But it's very disrespectful. So people felt that for everyone just to come to Olympics to watch, the Olympic sports and so forth, and then have to also deal with this political stuff on political end as well. But I don't know. What do you think about it? You think think it's good for conversation, or how do you feel? You felt it was disrespectful, or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think no group should be disrespected, especially on a international stage. So African Americans shouldn't be disrespected versus women versus LGBTQ versus Christians versus Jews. No one should. So I definitely think this opening ceremony, specifically, I guess this portion was a bit shocking. I wasn't expecting this. I do understand the backlash. I guess my question is, what does this have to do with sports? So
I agree.
Olympics, this is supposed to be the top athletes in the world come together. Basketball, gymnastics, swimming, and track and field. And I'm just a head scratcher. What does
No,
my
I agree.
have to do with this? I don't get it.
No, I agree. It makes me just wonder, regardless of what's going on here, what is this portion of what activity have to do, like you said, with the Olympics? Like, I don't, it's kind of like, I understand like the halftime show, like for like NFL, NBA, but I mean, was this supposed to be to more so entertain the people, or is it more like out of protest, or like how did this whole situation come about? Just very so there's a lot of questions,
so instead, and again, I'm all for promotion of a specific group to spread awareness. So the people that were involved in this portion of the ceremony, that's great if they wanted to do some type of presentation, but why did it have to be based on the Last Supper?
No, I agree. I agree.
Part that's just
I agree.
It just kind of went left,
I agree. Just like you said, it just like people have to understand that, especially the non-Christian, that this is a very sacred photos, very sacred things to Christians, and any alteration of it can be somewhat offensive. So you have to be very cautious, and not just even just in general, like anything that's sacred to people, you got to be very cautious, especially with me being a Christian, us being a Christian. This is just a very sacred photo. You got to be very delicate,
and especially in 2024. As you know, the last 5-10 years, everyone is extra woke. So we do our best to not offend anybody. Yes. Well, this seems like that they were trying to offend people.
No, I agree. I agree. I agree. At least, like you said, a peer or so.
It could have been like a grand dinner party. They're just celebrating, having a good time, but instead it was based specifically on on Jesus and the 12 disciples. So
exactly. Like you said, if they would have found maybe another way to kind of do it without offending, a lot of Christians, I don't even think it would have been like a lot of controversy about it. Probably would just been brushed over and just been like another activity.
Yeah, it was just
entertaining activity or whatever. But the way it went about was just it just struck a chord with too many people. So
so we'll see. So are you excited for the Olympics? Well, what's your favorite sport in the Olympics?
I don't know. Like I'm not saying as far as like favorite sports, maybe like track and field. I do like the 100-meter dash and so forth. I do watch a lot of that. I do like when they do like the bobsledding, some like the winter sports, even though I know like I believe it's the winter right now, but but how about yourself? What do you?
Track and field. I did hurdles back in the day, in middle school, and high school. So definitely looking forward to that. Also, I think this is Simone Biles, if I'm not mistaken, 4th time in the Olympics.
Wow! Shout out to her.
Crazy. So definitely, interested to see what she does. So So I think those happen a little later. So
Okay, and on that note, as far as somebody else who kind of caused a little controversy was over the past few weeks, Biden had, as we all know, he endorsed Kamala Harris. Now there's speculation that he potentially did this out of spite for Obama because he jumped on it very, very quickly. It wasn't even like too long before he went ahead and gave her the endorsement. At one point, people were trying to say that he wasn't going to endorse her, but he went ahead and endorsed her. And as you know, over like the past week or so, Obama finally endorsed Kamala. Now, a lot of speculation is happening. What happened on the back end? Was this because Obama was feeling the pressure, or maybe Biden called him up? But either way, there was speculation that Obama was never going to really endorse her. I don't know. What do you think? Some of the reasons why would you think that Obama may not have wanted to endorse Kamala, or what do you? Why do you think Biden, I guess, maybe went ahead and just endorsed her so quickly? What do you think?
Yeah, let's see. Well, I am happy that Obama finally endorsed Kamala. It seems like he was the last one, him and Michelle.
Yeah.
I think he was probably just waiting to see the reaction of
I see. Yeah,
America. You know, like this happened all very sudden. Like,
yeah,
as of last week, Biden says he wasn't dropping out. Then on Sunday, he wrote a letter saying I'm dropping out.
Yeah,
then, he says I'm going to. And then a few hours later, he says I'm going to endorse Kamala. But, you know, I Obama, especially since he's you know, finished up his term back in 2016, he's been very private.
No, you're right. You're right.
On, you know, his opinions on different candidates, on different races.
You're
so
right.
Since this was all kind of very new, I think he just wanted to kind of hold up to see what the public reaction was. And the public reaction has been very positive. You know, she's been killing it in her donations. Over $100 million raised, I think, in the last 2-3 days.
Yeah, I saw that. I was actually shocked.
You know, polls are going up. Trump lost pretty much most of his black vote. All of his vote now is going to Kamala. So I think since, you know, everyone is excited over, you know, Kamala, he was like, I think I can go on and endorse her.
No, I agree. Because just like you said, I agree with you. I think he was trying to see everyone's reaction, see if the public really was going to endorse her.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I feel like the Democrats were probably putting a lot of pressure on him just because they felt like if you don't do it, it's kind of like, because there probably were like some other Democrats that have endorsed Kamala that didn't really want to do it. So they kind of were looking for a way to kind of like, they really want, and some people were kind of considering doing like a big convention, right? Democrats coming there instead of just endorsing her. But once they saw Obama fall into place, all those, you know, maybe like senators and so forth that are looking forward to that, probably just let it die down. So I think that's why they probably put a lot of pressure on him to say, you need to go ahead and do this. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of infighting and people saying,
right,
you know, we need to have like a convention and so forth. So
yeah. So after Obama, just let everyone know, since Barack and Michelle Obama have endorsed Kamala, no one else will be going against her. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
He's like the godfather of
the
Democratic party. He kissed the ring.
Exactly.
So Kamala will be the Democratic nominee. So again, I'm really, really excited for the next 100 days. It's going to be, I think, the most interesting election of all time. And so far, I'm actually impressed with Kamala.
I agree. This is going to be a very interesting, like you said, next 100 days or so. We already had assassination attempt. You know, we got Biden step down. Like I said, which I never thought he was actually going to do that.
Right.
It just this year just been all types of
never thought was going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So this really is going to be like one of the biggest elections of like our lifetime. Even though, you know, both Republican and Democrat always say this is like the most important, biggest election. This really is going to be like one of the biggest elections.
Yeah. We'll definitely see. So I'm excited to see Michelle and Barack, you know, go out, do a couple different rallies with Kamala over the next few months. You know, give their 2 cents. I guess in one of their statements, Kamala mentioned that she and Obama are good friends. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that as well.
She's so private, and I don't know who her friends are. So I'm really, again, excited to know more about Kamala, see what her views are, which are different than Biden's. One thing she is gonna have to speak on is, why did she cover up Biden's failing health over the last few years? No.
That's a very interesting point. People are gonna, and like you said, the question on that, they're gonna question on the border. It's gonna, like, and just like I said, she's trying her best to distance herself from like a lot of that, but it's gonna be really tough. And of course, as you know, Trump is gonna definitely bring it up during the debates. So it's gonna be interesting this year. And actually, just so everyone know, that was one of the reasons people supposedly they claimed that one of the reasons Obama didn't really want to endorse her at first is because some people speculate that he didn't think she really has what it takes to do a presidential debate, because they feel like she's going to put her foot in her mouth when they asked her about the war, as we talked about earlier with the burn flag. When they start asking about that, he was just saying you got to be very careful in the way you speak, and they just feel like she's going to like say the wrong thing. It's going to like trigger a whole lot of people. And then, as you said, when we bring up like her past policies, the way she ran California and so forth, it's just going to be pretty tough for her. And then so that's why they really wanted to put pressure on him, because so now what Obama I think he's probably gonna have to do is he's probably, just like you said, he's gonna have to do a lot of rallies. He's gonna have to really talk to the people that feel like that she doesn't really have, I guess, what it takes to be president. But it's gonna be very interesting. So, but like I said, she finally got his endorsement. We'll see it. Hopefully it works out. Still got at least it's about 100 more days.
100 more days. Anything can happen. We got to see who her VP pick is going to be.
Yes.
Yes. They may have some skeletons in their closet or have some crazy stuff that they said, like JD Vance.
Yes.
We got to see how she does with the debate. Because again, I'm only used to her.
Yes.
Talking on the teleprompter. She doesn't do a lot of
freestyling
speeches and Trump freestyling. So during the debate, there's no script. You gotta speak what you know in your heart and in your head. And I do admit the freestyling that she does do is a lot of laughing. No,
I agree, and that's been unfortunately one of the talking points that a lot of the Republican red wing people have said, is that she has like a cackling type of laugh. Very uncomfortable. They just said she seems like she's not kind of awkward a little bit.
I would say it's not even the cackling. That's fine. I probably have a goofy laugh, but it's more of she laughs when she doesn't know the answer to something. Yeah,
exactly. Just like you said, she's uncomfortable, and then she just kind of laughs.
So she kind of laughs it off instead of telling us, it's like, wait, I just asked you, a foreign policy question. What's so funny?
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what they were saying. It's just like you said, is when she started getting asked those tough questions, and then she gets a little uncomfortable, and then she just laughing it off, and they're like, hey, we really need you to answer tough questions.
Yeah.
To kind of give us a sense of like, can you run the country?
Where
do you stand?
Right. Can you run the country? Can the American public trust you with their lives over the next 4 years?
Exactly.
No one else voted for you in the primary. You could literally kind of just here. No one had a choice but to vote for you for the Democratic nominee.
Exactly.
So you are going to have to show us something.
Exactly. And just like you said, we're already having the issue of her being a woman and then also a person of color. It just makes it even tougher, because now you got to really kind of I don't know. You just got to have a little spark about you to make people kind of believe you can win this, especially since you're going against you're going against Trump, you're going against his base, and he was already up against Biden. So now you're coming into this, and now you got to kind of compensate for that. Even though technically, to be fair, she actually, I think when they did the polling, she did a little bit better than Biden. I think just from that. So we'll see.
Do you think so it is interesting. I was reading online. Someone said, why are people, probably especially black people, why are you guys so excited about Kamala? But 4 years ago, y'all were talking about her. Y'all didn't vote for her.
Yeah.
In the polls, what happened?
Yeah. Well, we'll keep in mind, to everyone watching, there's kind of a little split. There are, even though they said, I think it was maybe 1,400, 40,000 black women or something that got on a call and said they were going to support Kamala or something like that.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, there's still a bunch of people that still are talking about her policies and so forth that still are not planning to vote for her. So I guess all we can speak for is the ones that do support her. And I just think that some of those people that, they feel like, some of them feel like it's time for a woman president. They want to see a woman, I guess, America finally go forward and have a woman for the first time be able to be president. And on top of that, she's a woman of color as well. So a lot of, in this case, black women and so forth really want to support that, because they see that is their way of finally being part of society, I guess. We finally, to some degree, made it. We have our piece of the pie. We're successful. We made it and so forth. Yeah. And so I think that, to my person, that's just me personally, I kind of think that's where a lot of that's coming from. They kind of want to see, they have a whole Obama effect again. It's but it's the black woman's version. But I don't know. Why do you think that spark is there?
Well, just gonna say, I'm not sure. I think people are basing internet, Twitter, TikTok excitement to American public as a whole
Yes.
excitement. And
Yes.
guys, that's for
Yes, exactly.
There's so many tweets online that get millions and millions of likes.
Yes.
But you know, that album may flop, that movie may flop. You know, people may not vote for that candidate.
Yes.
You know, so I don't want people to think that just because people are excited about you online and you got your little fans online, that does not result in the 300 million plus people.
No, I agree.
So we will definitely see what happens over the next, again, 3 months. So yeah.
Whew, it's getting closer and closer. We're already in August, about to be in August.
Yeah, man. So so again, that was our show for today. Hope you guys like our commentary over some of the latest topics going on. Again, don't know what's gonna happen next week. You know, again, anything happens. So I'm really excited to see what happens so we can give our 2 cents.
Yes, please subscribe to our channel if you have not, to all our ghost viewers, and hit the thumbs up. Please leave some comments. We love to respond to our comments and so forth. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, this is Too Much Commentary. I'm your host, Mike, and this is my co-host, X.
All right, guys. Peace.